Everyone, Christian here, and this is one of the sketchier vlogs I've done. I am in the median of Del Prado now, near 41, and this is one of the oddest entrances you've seen to any city before. And it says "Welcome to the city of Cape Coral" right there. And we have some Bismarcks, we have some Royals. The Bismarcks and Royals are not symmetrically placed. Sorry, there's a lot of mosquitoes here. And then we have a bunch of African cycads, Central African cycads. There's a mixture of Encephalornis gratis, Encephalornis hildebrantii, and usually you drive past this so fast it's hard to tell, but this looks like it's a South African variety. Let's see here. It looks like a kind of a Casambo hybrid. It's hard to tell. It looks at the base looks kind of like Casambo, but the base of the petioles do not. So the arming does not. But it's on both sides of the road, on the other side where these Bismarcks are here. But how did they get here? And I've always wondered this. I have talked to some people who live here that do collect these plants. These are not really highly collectible, but they are somewhat. These plants are probably worth an average of around $500 each, so they're kind of expensive to just put in here. So they were obviously donated. They weren't just sourced out by the city. And they've been here for a long time. They have some trunk to them. I would say they've been here at least 10 or 12 years. And they're probably only a few years older than that. These are all faster growing species in the genus. And this one here is flushing, as you can see. Nice new flush going on. And probably 12 to 15 leaflets there. And yeah, this is my first time actually in this median. So we'll see what happens. I saw Florida Highway Patrol pass me. I wonder if they're going to give me a problem because I'm sitting in the median of a large road. But it's quite a wide median. It's probably at least 4 car lengths wide. So I imagine it's not a big deal. People probably walk down these roads all the time. So it's another oddity that I found. You can see this one here is just flush. This is a hildebrantii. I can tell because it's pupping already. You can see little pups going on right there. And I was hoping to see one of these in cone, but I guess they're just not old enough yet. Most of the time, African cycads of this size, even Central African ones, will start to cone, but I don't know, it's just the wrong time of the year for them. But I forget what time of the year gratis even cones because it's been so long since I've pollinated it. But those of you who like palms, these are some of the closest palm-looking cycads that there are. You can see it has a nice large crown with a ton of leaflets. It has nice tropical leaflets to it, versus like a very spiny, upright leaflet you would find in a lot of South African blue cycads, like Horridus, Trispinosus, and Lamanii, Encephalornis, that is. So it is a cool entrance. It's the only entrance to a city I've ever seen that's just full of African cycads in Florida. If someone wants to point out another entrance that has this to a city, then let me know. I guess they're building some stuff over here, but this is a much newer area of town. It's on the edge. They call this Del Prado Extension. So this is kind of just woodlands with some gated communities down the road here this way. But this was well done for the most part. It looks like you can walk across that, but there's just bars and you can't. I don't know. This is like a fake facade. I guess that's real stone, but I'm shocked they even went that far with it. So, I imagine this is going to not look very well in the next 10-15 years, as it is not going to weather well any kind of metal like that exposed to the elements and not well done. It already looks kind of deteriorated. That's not really the point of the video, but when you go to newer areas of Florida, you will see that a lot of the municipal areas will kind of cheap out on stuff. They won't build things like they would in an older town, and it's unfortunate because this could be a beautiful place. And it's not looking bad right now, but I imagine it won't look that much. This is only about 15 years old, this extension, so give it 40 years and we'll see how well it does, how well it holds up to the test of time. So anyway, this here is a gratis. It's native to Kenya, the Indian, on the coast there on the Indian Ocean, right by the water. Hildebrantii is also native to most of that area. just south of there for the most part, kind of all around that area. And if that really is Casambo, it's also native to Kenya, just further inland. And they're called the Central African Giants because they tend to be larger green giant cycads. And the largest cycad in the world is within this kind of subgenus, not subgenus, but this kind of subfamily within the genus of giant green cycads. It's Cephalorbis laurentianus, which is native to the DRC and northern Angola. And so, sorry, it's hard for me to talk over all these cars, but I hope that you guys get the gist of a quite odd way to come into this town, because it's not really, doesn't have any African theme about it. It's more Spanish theme than anything else. So, and you're driving really fast by here, so it's hard to see the smaller plants. But they were planted here. They're not symmetrical. There's like 1, 2 there, then there's 3 over here. But it's better than just boring plants. I can't really complain about that part of it. So let's walk over to the other side here. I'm gonna be a little bit stupid here. So there's no cars in this lane coming through. So you have mostly the same here. You're gonna have some Hildebrantii. There's a nice kind of mid-flush going on there. You can kind of see, and that's actually really soft. I can touch this without getting poked, where the spines here are quite rough. That's another Hildebrantii. You can see the new pup is coming off. They might have cut off that pup, or cut off the leaflets on that pup. There's another one right there too. So, and there's one behind it. So, and these are all growing under the shade of a Bismarck, which is weird because these tend to grow out in full sun. They can grow in shade. They're gonna be a lot floppier in the shade. The mosquitoes are really getting me now. Another flush. This is that time of the year, so it's flushing now. It's not coning, but the cones are interesting to see. It may not even be that time for them. Like may not be old enough. But again, we have more here. We have 1, 2. This one's so shaded out, it's not even putting out any vegetated growth. It looks like it's actually damaged in the crown. You can see the dark coloring there. That's another larger gratis. Yeah. So this was not really planted out with any sort of thought behind it, but the fact that it's different is what really attracted my attention. So actually, this is probably Hildebrantii too. It is, yeah. So I guess if they were to plant it a little bit better with maybe some tags, some proper planting, this sort of some symmetry or some sort of organization, it would look a lot better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, so 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 planted out, and there's very few ways to make 9 plants look right in a form. And like 3 groups of 3 is really the only thing I can think of. Or maybe no, you can't even do. I guess you could do like a pyramid without the top on it. So I guess this is where they were allowed to plant it. So that sometimes when you're given the opportunity to plant something, but you're given restrictions, you kind of have to work with what you have. So this is what they did, and there's nothing wrong with what was done here. It just looks a little bit interesting. Like this cycad looks like another Hildebrantii planted between a royal and a Bismarck, which both have very aggressive roots. So it's probably growing on top of the roots of both the Bismarck and the royal together. So anyway, before I get eaten alive, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, but hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more palm and other tropical plant videos, consider subscribing. If you have any questions about cycads like these, the Central African Giants, the green giants, leave a comment down below and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.